Hey guys, I need because I saw the results for who was nominated, who's on the block right now, who Hassan nominated were up. So if you don't want a spoiler, just turn the sound down for a little second. Okay. It looks like it's Riley and Cameron. I think Cameron's gonna get the axe, unless he wins the veto and can take himself off the block. Hello, Arthur.
Hello, Stella.
How are you doing? I'm so happy about your dad. I got some strawberry milk here. I don't know why I took the caramel. I just wanted to take the strawberry.
Thank you for saying that about my dad. He's doing all right. He's just resting right now.
M&M's. Oh, I got these Uncrustables. They had one box on sale of the peanut butter and jelly. And I prefer the strawberry, but I love them Uncrustables. Hold on, I'm gonna sniff this like a normal person. You know what this smells like? Camp. It smells like lunchtime. Like, hey, what do you got? Can I trade your pudding? So, um, they played this song that was like my mom's song to me as I'm taking the groceries onto the the conveyor belt. So I have this whole thing full, and I have to figure out like how I'm gonna pay because I always have to jumble between like a few cards. Like, okay, and 20 on this, and and that song came on, and I start crying. Like, hold it together. So, but I'm like, because I never, ever, ever hear that song. And once they got the first like notes, like I'm like, oh no, I know this. Like, it can't be this song. And like, and it has like a sadness to the song too. Like, it's it has like even in it like the words goodbye. Like, it's it's not a happy song. Um, and so you hear it, and then I go to the AAA to get the notary because I needed something for that. Like I said, the house in foreclosure, and the lawyers want the keys. And I needed to have something notarized. I have to have it sent out tomorrow. But so the I had to get that, and the other notary was like $20 for each. And at the AAA, that you can do 5 for free every day. So I was like, that's a better deal since I have the AAA. But I turn around, I'm thinking about. I started crying, and there's this African American woman. She was so nice. She's in, and I'm trying to be like professional. And at one point, she took the tissues. She's like, "Your tissues right here," because you could see on the paper it says for the surviving daughter of. And I remember her reading it for a second to see like because she had to write in her book what the form was, and I think it hits her like this girl lost her mom, and she's like, it's only gonna be a minute, honey. And I had to do my thumbprint. Just don't push too hard. She had to hold it because it'll be like a lot of ink. So I turn around, I'm crying while she's getting her paper, and I see this stand of different books, and it immediately catches my eye, Korea. And that was like my mom's place because my mom, she was in the Air Force and she stayed in Korea, and she knows like to speak a lot of Korean, and she almost adopted a child while she was there in Korea. I don't think she could, but she was trying to, so like a little girl or something. So um, there's always like I just start like I was already having a hard day like with mentally a lot of yawning a lot. I'm just trying to hold in there till I can get to the neurologist. Like I'm like I know that they got the referral by now, so that's good. But I'm trying to hold it together, and I'm getting these feelings like, is my mom trying to tell me something? What is she trying to tell me? And I know that's so weird. Like I debated even saying it, but like this is really what's on my mind. It's like because I keep thinking like I have all this guilt all of a sudden. Like did I? Because like I said, that last conversation with her, because remember she died. Her heart. She was like overworking and stressed and trying to get out here, and I I feel like should I not have told her like how I was having such a hard time? And so I like this guilt is like weighing on me. Um, and um, so I'm like, is she trying to tell me like it's not my fault or shit. Like, I don't know. Like, it's so hard. Anyway, that was my day. Then I made some salmon. That turned out good. I have one recipe. I just butter spray and crumbs. Those were panko crumbs, but just breadcrumb. And so it should be low sodium. And then I just did my makeup, and Rex was sleeping in the bed. He just like after, like, you're so cute. I snapped a picture for you guys of him. And and I grabbed this shirt and it says "Problem Child" and it has his bunny. And right near was his bunny hat, so I'll probably take this off. But I thought it was so cute, so I put it on. How was your day? How are you doing?
I think it was good. Just chilling out, taking care of my father.
Taking care of your father? How's he doing? You have to lift everything for him?
Yeah, I had to do some stuff. I had to put some new spoon on his shoulder a little bit. And tomorrow, those bandages will finally come off.
You notice like both of your parents have had surgery, like your mom, like she had the breast cancer and they've both recovered. I feel like you come from really strong stock, like really strong genetics. I have a feeling.
You would have one other person in my family who went to surgery.
Your grandmother?
Not my grandmother.
Yeah. You?
Yeah.
What did you have? I didn't know that.
No surgery.
Oh, no surgery. Yeah, I would have thought.
For my allergies.
Oh.
I was in that surgery room. So my surgery was at 8 a.m.
Wow.
And you're not going to believe what time I had to stay one night because I was walking up something.
Yeah.
But let me tell you how
scary
long I was in that surgery room when I was still in Illinois. From 8 a.m. to get this, 4 p.m.
Wow. Then they gave you anesthesia? Must have given you a lot.
Yeah,
to last that long. See, I have this fear that I'm secretly allergic to anesthesia, and the only way to know is by getting it. And then what if I don't wake up? Like, there's a very small percent of people like that are allergic, but I'm like, what if I am? Because I feel like I've become like more allergic to things, especially lately. I have these like itch at some point every day. I get like really itchy, and like this morning, it's like here, my wrist, here, by the ankle. I'm like, what is that? And I'm thinking, am I more sensitive to things now? Like chemicals, products, things in the air, things like, what is it? So I really hope I wouldn't be, but now you know that you're not, so that must be a relief because you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You are so brave. I haven't even had my wisdom teeth taken out. I'm too much of a sissy baby.
I had my wisdom teeth taken out.
They hurt.
They had me. They put me to sleep on that.
Did your face blow up like a chipmunk?
Yeah. They numb my mouth.
If I got my wisdom teeth taken out and like I was all woozy, would you look after me and not molest me?
Yes, I would.
What if I was like, please molest me? Please.
Where did this word molest come into play?
Because it's playful. When you're talking about friends, it's playful. Like, if you're talking about like if I thought you were like an actual sex event or something, it wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with a friend you could joke around and be like, would you take advantage of me? Like, I feel like I would molest you if you were anesthetized. Just kidding. Yeah. Some guys would like that. I bet that's some people's fantasy is like being taken advantage of. But like as a fantasy, not like a reality, by a woman.
Fantasy, yeah. Reality, no.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that in reality could traumatize somebody, but in a fantasy, you'd be like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's a sad thing to say because I bet that happens. People are drinking too much. Like I think especially guys, because I think guys get socially nervous, and they just say that. They just say like, I don't know if that's true, but like that women are better with like communicating or like verbal dynamics than men. I mean, men can learn, but like I think more naturally they say women would have like gotten their power from like relational maneuvering, like you know what I mean. So I feel like men like get like more nervous and they'll like drink, and then you feel like you really shouldn't take advantage of them. But I never would. I don't even drink. But fantasy
No, you don't drink.
reality AM game. What is that? What is that?
What's what?
What Donation said. Or is it fantasy?
Say what?
I don't really for him. Yeah, reality. I'm game. Oh, fantasy or reality? I'm game. I see what you're saying. Okay, would you be willing to have like a rule with like your girlfriend or significant other that if you're sleeping and they're they can play with it, and if it gets well, feel free. If you want to be nice. I encourage it. Anyway.
Come up with some crazy stuff in your head.
Hey, you don't think that your mom and dad were being romantic now that he had a surgery? I bet they are.
That is none of my business. Stella, I'm going to tell you, you better shut up on that.
Okay.
That's not nice. Don't say that to me. That's none of my damn business.
They are couples goals.
Yeah, well, this here is my goal. Shut up on that.
You're funny today. How was have we talked since you watched your wrestling thing on Sunday? Yeah.
It was good, but there was some stuff on there that was sort of bland.
Man.
Like the MMA match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. LA Knight won, Logan Paul won. Seth Rollins retained his belt. And that hold up. Don't interrupt me. Oh yeah, that tribal combat. It was a good match, but the ending of it was fucked up.
Why was it fucked up? What happened?
Jimmy Uso betrayed his brother Jay from winning the belt.
No. So what's the next big wrestling event scheduled?
Well, September is a payback.
September will come next month.
Yeah, October, I think it's another Saudi show. November is the fourth and final big pay-per-views. If they get if they gotta make it to big pay-per-view like last year, Survivor Series in December.
You paid for it? How much does it cost?
I watch it on Peacock.
Oh, you don't have to pay for it?
Not like I used to a long time ago. Not anymore. Because when every time I pay for it, I reported them every time.
You could ask her to
now since that's over, I don't do that no more. Now since that is over,
you sound sad, like it's over the excitement.
I haven't even ordered one AEW pay-per-view. Because those things are long, and number two, those cost $59.99.
$59.99? What? Are you serious? To watch one show? Oh my god.
Nothing.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Double or Nothing.
$60? That's like, do they show it at movie theaters?
Revolution.
That's more than seeing Avatar.
All in London. It's gonna be a couple of weeks, and then like a month later, after All In, it's gonna be All Out in Chicago.
I would, I don't know, like I don't know anyone in my area. I would have to like go in with somebody, but I don't have any friends. That's an expensive hobby. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I remember I have this book I wanted to bring. Say hi to the chat. Okay. Get your songs ready.
Oh yeah, my songs are all ready. I had to switch that second one to a different one. What's up, y'all? Well, yeah, SummerSlam was it was an okay show. Roman's still the tribal chief, still the heavyweight champion. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, Brock Lesnar lost. He shook Cody Rhodes' hand.
What?
I forgot to tell you one other thing. Cody Rhodes won, and he so make that two things. Cody Rhodes won, and Brock Lesnar shook his hand. Brock Lesnar never did that. And number two, the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion changed hands not once but twice.
Arthur, that's a game. Somebody always has to lose for there to be a winner. That's what I don't like about competitions. Somebody always loses. I hate that.
Still, not Roman. Ever since Roman won that WWE undisputed champions heavyweight championship, he has the record and is still intact after last Saturday. 1,079. So basically, the only time he's been pinned, the only time Roman Reigns has been, he ever lost a match was last month, and I got the DVD right here, right here in my face, Money in the Bank.
They banned someone, and I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Oh, some guy was saying, maybe that two guys were saying some dirty shit. I forgot what they said. They said, you could ask her to give me I don't even know who this guy is, and it said, set alarm clock. And there was this other person.
I was like, alarm clock for what? Like, is it like
I don't even know
turn back the clocks?
That was.
Yeah. Don't come in here confusing me. It's been a long week. Okay, this book.
And there was man, I don't even know who this other one is, but the legal ban him. So I don't know. Yeah, now Clement AB is now hidden. I don't know what he said.
Do you guys know what the cheese cult is? We don't have the cheese cult. No, this is the pantyhose cult. I believe the cheese cult is probably on one of them food channels somewhere on the sides there. I don't see anything here. It's just screaming.
Triple B, who the hell are you? Get the fuck out of here.
Let me know if there's a pizza cult, though, because I want to join that, too. OJ, do you want a prayer?
Oh, no. You wanted to talk about the book.
Yes, the book is called, it's from Tim Allen's. It's called Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man. And I got this for, I guess, $2.99. And you can see it's so, like, this is so, like, 90s or, like, so, like, of its time. And it's like advice for men, like dated advice for men, which I thought would be so fun to like parcel out to you guys and how like things have changed.
Wow. I didn't know Tim Allen wrote a book.
Okay, this is what he wrote on the back. Okay.
Yes.
Once I woke up sexually, I looked at everything differently. I even looked at comic books anew. Suddenly, I half understood what Archie wanted from Veronica. I'm still trying to figure out what Jughead wanted from Reggie. I guess you'd have to know the comic book. Okay. Everyone plays golf now, which is a lot like going to a strip club. You get all charged up, pay big money to hang out on a beautiful course, and start drinking early. 18 holes later, you're plastered and frustrated, and most of your balls are missing.
God
Women.
damn,
Women call men liars. It's semantics, really. We call it bullshitting. And like even just the title, like who comes up with that? Don't stand too close to a naked man. But let me see, when was this book written? Because back then I think it was.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
The standards for comedy were like 1994. The standards for comedy I think were okay.
I guess he must have got it from Pamela Anderson when she was on Home Improvement that little bit.
Oh yeah, she was on Tool Time. Okay, these are the titles of the chapters. Introduction: The Naked Truth. My Name Made Me Do It. Animal Boy. Gilbert Dennison's older brother's room. The Eddie Haskell Syndrome. The Wonderful World of Guys. Okay, listen to this next chapter. Women are people too. The fuck? Okay, wives are women too. Men's zones, more power, masculinism. Oh, that one's gonna be good. The secrets men never tell women. The family man, and then afterward, men and their tools.
Let me tell you something. That one chapter, man will never tell their women's secrets. One thing, women will know you're hiding something.
Okay, I'll flip to that one.
So no matter how many times you try to like hide a secret to your woman, she'll know.
All right, let's see what secrets. Okay, I got men's zones. I think it's after that one. More power, masculinism. Wait, what chapter was that they said? Okay, 191. Page 191. Okay. And yeah, there's just a blank page and it says, do I look stupid? Why do you think they're called secrets? And that's it. That's the whole chapter. Literally. And then there's the next chapter. I literally just read you the entire chapter. I'm sure at the time that was really cutting edge. All right. Let me flip to the masculinism one. Is that even a word? It could be a word. Okay, women are people too. Oh God. Okay, found it. Okay, here we go. Like most men, I'm confused by feminism. It also confuses many women, but that's someone else's book. For the longest time, I wasn't sure what the word actually meant. At first, I thought it was the study of what men do wrong. That was because many of the loudest early voices in feminism seemed to be man haters. They didn't like us. They said we'd screwed up everything. They thought the planet would be better off without us. When they were feeling generous, they might say that men were only good for one thing, and that we weren't very good at that either. I don't know why, but I took that personally. Feminism has grown a lot since that. Guys, this is remarkable because it's showing me that complaining about women is not a new thing. I thought that this started like 3 years ago with social media, but this is 1994, and they're still complaining about feminism, whatever. Um, most women don't think men should be exterminated. They'd be satisfied if we agreed to submit our brains to a good house cleaning, and if we'd hire an undocumented alien to do it, and remember to pay her social security taxes. I have no idea what any of that meant. I've always wanted to understand.
I don't even know what the fuck Tim Allen is writing about.
I always wanted to understand feminism, so I tackled a regimen of intense research into the subject. I'm sure you did. Eventually, I earned a PhD in Advanced Women's Studies by correspondence course. Oh, I am so sure this is bullshit. Is this all he's going to do? I thought he was going to give advice for men, but maybe it's not in the. He's talking about women's magazines.
Stella, the book that you're reading for us right now, that is a work of art.
What?
But that book you're having in your hand right now that you're reading, that is bullshit.
Anyway, I'm sure this is like mainly advice for men, but because he, I think, sold himself as like, I got tools. I'm a man. Like, and I just find it fascinating, like how he was fascinated by feminism, like that when a guy likes to be like to tell guys how to be an expert guy. It's like, what the hell do you know? I mean, he was in that Santa Claus movie, which I always thought was really cute, really funny. I always liked the elf, like the sidekick elf. And I think there was a sequel.
Another movie, but I forgot what it was.
I can't think of any other movies he did but the Santa Claus one. And then there was that TV show. Does he still work? Is it? Oh, Toy Story. It wasn't his face.
1 and 2, and 3.
Buzz. Okay, how about a prayer?
Yes, Lord, my dad went through his surgery. Thank you for letting him get after your surgery. They go with the heart. They went without a heartbeat. Number 2, we're gonna be like a month and a half, but he won't be doing anything for a while, and he sure won't be doing anything for a while too, because in like 3 weeks from now, on Thursday, August 31st, he turns 71.
Woohoo! We thank God for every day of every one of those years, and especially thank him right now for looking over him during that surgery and after.
And Lord, the NFL season is starting. Now, my girl Stella won't have Derek Carr on.
I know.
He went to the Falcons. So now she has a new quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. So let's pray for her Raiders to wake this.
You can't pray for football.
And my team to repeat as champions. And to be very honest, they just have a good NFL season.
Why don't you pray that I get to see a neurologist and find out what the hell's wrong with me?
And pray for Stella to be great at her neurologist. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right. There's song number 1 of 2. Now, Stella, I heard this guy sing one of his first great songs, and he sang another great song, but this one here, he sang with 2 great rappers. But in order for us to do this, to play this song, well, every time I see you, Stella, y'all do think about having sex with you. So basically, All I'm saying is, let's ride.
That's what. Sounds like Sierra.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go to the library. Tell us that there's some beautiful cows up here. You see Shorty on the sitting on the 20s. Yeah, the 504 still bribe me, heard? Let's get riding. Let's get riding. Nobody tell body. That's the thing, the body. Um, uh, just in the club after my show. You know the spot, everybody's on the low. That's when
I
I
have a bunch
saw
of
her.
these. They're like
You
in the
saw
spirit
me,
box.
so me see like Pepsi and Montel, you can't move me.
See how-
So lay back, put a 50 in my mouth. And once you take pills, I put that body screen over in the club that's jealous of me. Cause I'm waiting for it, I'm staying for it, and I'm getting about to play for it. So let's ride all night. I don't doubt it. You love it, body, and I want to ride it. Girl, I wanna ride it. Girl, I wanna ride. Yeah. You without it. You love this body, get out walking night. I want to get to the rap session parts of this.
Are you jelly of my jelly? Don't be jelly of this jelly.
Here it comes.
Rap time.
Senior soldiers doing wild. I can make you smile, make my 9 go 5. Put of the boosters once a mile. Damn a flies on them sheets. They get head on the street, up and down to you weak. Cause the thugs like to free. 68 up in my door. If you buy the girl is roll. I told you what, no limit. Cause tonight anything goes, anything goes. Let's roll. Let me help you take off your clothes. Give me a preview before. And the rest after the show. Thug love mixed with green. And we talk everything though. That's champagne on glass out on our tub. But I put up a oriental drug. Can't get enough. You on top of me on top of you. Since you want to the stuff, girl, ain't no stopping me. Now let's ride. That was Montel Jordan.
It's an Uncrustable.
That was Montel Jordan featuring Silk the Shocker and Master P.
Arthur, I was just thinking we should do next week a rap, both of us. Like, you'll have a rap part of a song, and I'll have another rap part of the same song.
You got it.
I'm trying to think what song, though. It would have to be one that has multiple, you know what I mean, artists.
I'll look for one.
Okay.
Now, when I told you about Master P and Silk the Shocker, you should know who those two are.
Master P.
They from they were from the No Limit Soldiers.
Master P had a son who went by Lil Romeo, and he had that song. You know that song? Oh, Romeo. It was so cute. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I love that song.
Now here's the second song. Now,
this is what I think about you, Tim Allen.
Now, Stella, when it comes to you, I see you and on OnlyFans wear these sexy outfits or some not so sexy outfits.
What the hell?
Well, Stella, all I want to know is let those ladies know what guys
I
talk about.
have thongs. I have plenty of thongs.
You know, the finer things in life.
The finer things in life is a thong.
Check it out.
It's a $2 pair of underwear.
And you know another, they handle it, and you stick it in there like, ooh, it's my eye so devilish.
Is he British? This is the best thing we ever got out of the UK.
Like the box that he was living, he got it, oh God, he had to like a top. Guys, like what? Everything about it. But, I can see it again, see guys, guys, like what? All night long, let me sing that song. Babies. That dong. I like it when the beat goes. I knew it would go. That dong.
I'm hitting my butt cheeks to the beat.
And singing that thing like who's it? You lose my eyes so devilish. Everything to the hip hop, she connected us, just the bit, she like the pop, and she was living like they got no time. She don't take a truck. Guys like what? Tell me more about it. But. They look at what? Guys like what? All night long. And they sing that song. It was Cisco thong song. And no, hold up. Don't I got things to tell. No, he was not singing about male thongs. He was singing about female thongs.
No, he was singing about what was the guy? Borat's with the ones.
No, it was not. I seen the video.
Don't you think that men look better in a thong though? Because they fill it out more. Really, they got that heavy bags to carry. Except if they got the glorious micro, then they can just borrow my panties.
I've seen the video, fella, and it was
That's because they find man thongs or any male sexuality to be vulgar in the media.
What?
It's true. Boobs are not vulgar, but like this for a man, it's like that's offensive. I'm pretty sure that's what the government handbook on appropriate things to share broadcast rules is. If a man has boobs, though, if he gains some weight and they become attractive, then he has to cover them up because they're on a man, they become obscene. If a lady removes her breasts but identifies as a man and becomes a man, she still might still be offensive because, just identifying as a man is enough to have your titties be offensive. I don't make the rules. I just make them up at the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay, I'm looking at the video and all it is emails in their phone.
He is researching it closely. Thank you. He's doing the hard.
So basically, what Bill was saying. So basically, what Bill was saying was bullshit.
Yeah, Bill, that was bullshit. The devil went down in Georgia, and it was Pill. You lying motherfucker. Well, thank you for your lovely call. You really get the party started, and I love you, and I continue to pray for your whole family, and including your dad. Mwah.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye.
An altar. Hello.
Hey, Cousins.
Hi.
I'm trying to stay positive.
You're feeling better this week?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Gary says that his sister has a cat that looks like the cat that I posted on OnlyFans from the Big Brother adoption videos. And I was like, I said, show me your pussy.
No, it was in my, it was in my old phone, and now I lost the picture. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a shy cat that you gotta like catch her off guard. I had a close-up shot of her.
That I was watching that cat sleep, and he was like, he or she, I can't tell. I wasn't looking in that area, and they weren't showing that area. Anyway, like he would like, I'll just call it he because that's what's coming out of my mouth. Like lay on his back and flip his paws around and like, and I was like, that must be so cozy to sleep with a cat because they just like really seem to like relax and get into the sleep and like, you know. Rex is good to sleep with, but Fila is not because Fila gets up like at a second, or Rex just stays chill.
One night I spent the night at my sister's house, and I couldn't sleep, but I heard her cat meowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was she had the cutest meow. It just.
Oh, did you pet your sister's pussy?
I wouldn't touch.
You know what? You don't want to touch a strange pussy that you're not familiar with, because a lot of times you get scratched, screeched at.
Yeah,
this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll just look but don't touch.
That reminds me, somehow, like you guys know that like I somewhat follow the Chantal Foodie Beauty, and there was this guy that I don't know how he got involved. Like I guess she was defending him or something. Let me see if it's still the right guy. And does that begin with a C? And I'm like, who is this? Who was this person? And I see like this video. I think that it's him, and he's saying stuff like, "Yeah, like your own sister won't fuck you," or something. It was like, what? They were like, why would I want to fuck my sister? And like, oh my god, who is this person?
I gotta remember not to walk into these traps.
What?
Yeah, what were you saying?
Is it? I don't know where I put that video. Or the name of it. I wouldn't have saved it, but might be on my other computer. Let me see. But like, what kind of a insult is that? Like, you're gonna have sex with your sister?
Really?
Like, what?
That's a weird one. Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, well, this person obviously looks weird. Like, something. Okay, this is his name. CYRAXX. I think pronounced Cyrax. Have you heard of this person? It's insulting to me that they are so many of them. So many what?
Maybe I'll look it up in my encyclopedia. If I can find it. That sounds like those nasal medicine that you see in the commercials when you talk about the side effects.
Okay, I'm just gonna type his name into my little search box here on the YouTubes. Yeah. And see if 12 hours ago. Okay, this is what he looks like, I guess. He's really normal looking anyway. Uh-oh. But I guess he was, is he like a sex offender or something? And
Kendall decided to put an end to the drama by contacting law. And the lights are on. Is this what you want? Of himself. The allegations brought forward by Kendall gained a lot of legitimacy since her viewers had the opportunity to witness just how dangerous Cyrex really was. Whenever he got caught red-handed, Cyrex resorted to his usual tactic of shifting blame, projections, and raging at trolls.
These people have had National Mafia pretend to be an 18-year-old female, send me a picture, and then claim to be underage.
I think I might have seen them throughout through the about scrolling and stuff. I think I might have ran into stuff.
I forget why I bring this up, but I'm pretty sure it was to say, well, I guess I'm not like the most mentally deranged person on the internet. Like, I just twitch, you know, like I'm gonna have Tourette's, but yeah, this is the, oh yeah, because this was the guy that was like, yeah, your sister don't even fuck you. Sorry. Is that like a thing? I keep hearing that, like, that's like a thing, like, people are into, like, their, like, step siblings. I think that came from the movie Clueless. You know how in Clueless, when, what was his name? You know, like, was it Paul Rudd? Is Cher's older brother or stepbrother? Not half, stepbrother. Yeah, I think everybody just wants to like recreate and be like Cher and Clueless.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see.
I just think like that's so like hillbilly. That's very Appalachian Mountains where you don't know anyone except your first cousin. You know, there's nobody else. You know, nobody else likes you, but your immediate relatives. That's sad. She was hot. She's still alive. Alicia Silverstone. She's still alive, but I guess her career. See, this is the thing when you're known for being like teen famous or like kids star. It's very hard to see if you can have an adult career. And even if you're gonna have an adult like career as an adult, it's very hard to have that last in Hollywood. But I guess she gained weight when she did this like Batman movie, and like the media was like, I don't think they would ever do that now. Like I think that would be relegated to like, you know, like mean like people on the internet, like look at her, man. But they said that she was fat in her costume, like that she was unattractive, and then she didn't really have a career after that. Yeah, but they said that in Batman she got fat. Yeah.
Possibly a lot of creeps and predators and stuff.
So it's so hard because, like, how do I say this? Simultaneously, I think this is a very hard concept for people. Some of them, it's like, it's such a distant ideas that they can't let them both be true. But that a very attractive feature for one person can be for another person the opposite, can still be a very attractive feature like for that person. Like for instance, and I shouldn't even say the words opposite, but like say somebody has like what?
I think I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, so it's like say somebody has like this very like full lips, and so for them people might say and like, well, oh, what a beautiful lips you have, And then somebody else can have very thinner lips, but it still looks beautiful. And they can say to the same person, what a beautiful lips you have. And then people would look at that and be like, what? No, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, two things that are different can't both be good. Like, they can't both be beautiful. Like, oh no, you can say to somebody with very pale skin, very dark skin, and no, like they can both be very beautiful. Yeah, so, because I think in like our society, it's like one, it's all very like one way, which is so boring.
Yeah,
but
I noticed that. Yeah.
like you can have straight hair be beautiful, curls are beautiful, but it usually tends to be like whatever is like trend, like for Erin, the one I was talking about, I think yesterday, that got those huge, like and right now, she got a steroid injection, a cortisol or whatever, and it took her a couple days, and now her rashes are clearing up. But people are like, this is temporary. She thinks it's because she got out of the place where she's like, it was the mold. But it's like, no, because it took a couple days for the steroids to kick in. But they will wear off, and you'll still have this problem. Because you don't want to take too many steroids, But you don't want to have that rush like that continuing. But she's convinced that steroids didn't work, because it was a couple days after I got it, I still had the rash. Like, no. But anyway, she got these like huge, and I think because people are told it's like, oh, if you don't have like big, huge boobs, then you don't have good boobs. You don't have like a nice body. You know what I mean? So I feel like
like a hollow. That's kind of hollow, and I think it's got something to do with Hollywood showing you one way.
Well, I feel like for her, if at the time everything is like very thin, like, oh, look how great this person is. They're such a good person because they lost weight. Then you would look at her and be like, oh, but she gained weight. So what a failure. She looks so unfortunate. It's like, what are you talking about? Shallow Hell was not a documentary. It was not a true story. It's a very funny movie.
What's that?
I was responding to Terry said Shallow Hell, people can change.
Oh yeah.
And that was like one of the rare movies that was that dude from Seinfeld was in, because he doesn't do that many movies. People always say whenever you bring up that, like on Seinfeld, that Jerry Seinfeld has not really had much of a career after, and that was because he doesn't need to. Because he doesn't need to have a career. He's got money. What was the one that played Elaine? She was born with enough money. She didn't need to. But she's very good, and she finds roles, and she continues. I have a feeling that Jerry Seinfeld was so of a trend of a moment, like he doesn't translate as well, like outside of that show. And I also think, who was the writer? Who was the writer of Seinfeld that went on to still have a career? Like his comedy does, but I feel like Jerry, he's done interviews and he's like tried, but I don't think it really is of the time. And he'll complain like, you can't go to campuses or whatever. Not that his comedy was ever very edgy, but I think that's what it is. I think Larry David, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What was I gonna say? I know one thing about the people around all the actors around him. They was the writers wrote for them and just let Jerry Seinfeld be himself.
Oh, I'm sure he wrote some of it. He did stand up. He was on was he on Johnny Carson for his own stand up acts? He wrote some of it, not maybe not all of it, because I know that Larry David did.
I think so, but I think what it is, I think he would react to what they wrote. He was just there to react. That's what I heard.
Like, I think that a lot of comedians, because believe it or not, in order to be like in comedy, like if you look back You ever watch? Because I've been really into like old films lately, like on YouTube, like silent films type of stuff, like that, like seeing as much as I can of that because so many are lost. But anyway, but the Marx Brothers was not silent, but there is doing comedy. You'll find a lot of the people, the comedians are very intelligent, and then they also find a correlation with depression. So you'll find a lot of suicides, a lot of early death, overdoses, a lot of tragedy behind comedians. And so I feel with him, it shows up like when I see him in interviews, he does not seem like a happy man. I think part of it too, like I think it's one of his like comedians are like close because they're like commiserate together. But I think being observational, he was always very observational. People they can observe things that are bad too. And that's hard. That weighs on you.
Yeah, like that comedy roast, the way what's his name? Greg Girado, I think he hosted or something. And he looked, at the time he was, before he committed suicide, he looked very depressed.
I don't know what's going on tonight, you guys. Just people being rude.
But trolls coming out of the woodwork.
I don't know what people are saying. It's like it's hard for me to read from here, and then they're banned. Trolls. Yeah. Well, sometimes people will write me on OnlyFans for the number, but I'm not allowed to give that on OnlyFans. And I've given it in the chats. Well, last time was that to that David guy, and then he didn't even call until that night when I'm making dinner, and like all the next day, and then I haven't seen him since. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? We're sensitive to assuming people are trolls because I have had some real hate. Like I have had some horrible hate that and you wouldn't believe why. You'd be like, why would people target? And so the people that are moderators know that, and they're sensitive to be like, oh, because people will make fake accounts too. So if we're not used to your name, might think like, oh yeah, oh the hate's coming. It's crazy. I don't know. People are. Honestly, things are weird. Like
people are bored. They just want to be a trickster, joker, or whatever.
No, I was gonna say people are depressed right now, and like depression or feeling disempowered. It does give that urge to like take it out somewhere, to like put it on something, to feel more powerful. And I feel like a lot of that's coming from like I was hearing like, okay, the UPS drivers got a raise, or they're getting one hopefully, and it's like that's very good. And then I was reading even more about, they're like, yeah, even with that, the job is very hard, and I didn't even realize. Like, it's not that I take for granted. Like, I always think every job is really hard. Like, whenever I hear anyone's job, I always think, oh, that must be really hard. So, because like every job I've worked at was really hard. So it's not that I thought, oh, it must be easy, but I think hearing the details of like how, like having to like lift these heavy things, and every 3 seconds, having to move another package and having things upstairs, and how the damage that would happen in hands and your back and your fatigue. And it's like, my heart breaks for people. I'm not saying like, so those people are among us, they're being rude. No.
Your heart breaks for me. I'm a lifter.
Oh, you are? No, I didn't know that. Oh.
Every Friday, there's a shipment that I have to.
Oh my God!
I'm the go-to guy for that.
You must look so strong and sexy. You should look at your picture of you doing like those Schwarzenegger lifting boxes. when that lady asked me to break her fingers, you probably could have. My heart is broken right now being at work. Well, it's more saying there's a lot out there, though. Like, there's a lot of, I think maybe people like that, maybe they can be too tired to even think about, being upset at anyone. But yeah, they need their money and they need, their benefits. Like, but I feel like, you know, things changing too. Like I know there's like, oh, nothing is stagnant. Nothing is like, forever. Like we don't even know the earth will be, well, I guess we know for a fact the earth won't be here forever because, or life here forever or whatever. But, because eventually the sun will burn out in like a billion years or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, but God, to have everything just constantly change, like think about the main things of your life. Like, okay, what were like the main things that you buy? Energy, price changes. Sometimes they would be up, down. Being able to leave the house. You ever hear of COVID? Having to wear something on your face, having to, have all these precautions you didn't know. Can you go to work? You have to go to work. You can't go to work. Food. You could go to McDonald's like a couple of years ago and get like a sandwich for $1 or something. And now you're spending like $30. And to be honest, food, I'm not just talking about one place. It seems like across the board, a lot of places, the quality is down. Like, the quality is down. And I don't like to be like, you're Karen. But prices are up and it's not like, but the quality is supreme now. I kind of questionable. Like I've gotten sick a couple times of like the Wendy's or something. So many things changing. I think people are, it's like, this is garbage. But I mean, things have to change to get better though. Like I was listening to Beyond the Trailer as I was getting makeups on today. And she was saying that she believes, because they're talking about residuals and streaming, that there shouldn't be streaming. That the way to fix this, like in the future, is to have everything be like pay, like to buy it individually, and then maybe like cable or something with ads, but no more of all this like streaming platforms. And did you hear Disney is going up? That's expensive, and I don't even know how to log in. I know I'm paying for that one. I wish there was some way to do them like month to month, so when I can't log in, I know that it's not charging me anyway. I know they think it's probably convenient, but I could like click a button or something. So I'm trying to see.
Some stuff I don't know about. Do they still sell Blu-rays?
Do they still sell I never had a Blu-ray player. I don't think I've ever seen a Blu-ray. So I don't know.
Blu-ray or DVD?
I'm sure they sell them somewhere, but like new ones, I would check like Best Buy.
Well, even have a Best Buy.
If they do, that Barbie movie is going to sell a lot of them, I bet.
Yeah, I just think streaming came like way too soon. So, but I was thinking that DVDs are like obsoleting and stuff. And even CDs.
The sun has 4.5 billion years left. See, I told you it would be soon. Terry's reminding us, enjoy every day. Like it's you have under 4 billion left. I'm just saying, like, okay, think about, there was a time before streaming. And I started saying to myself when I heard that, oh, that's ridiculous. Because, I mean, streaming is so popular. And it's like, wait a minute. Streaming was once nothing. Streaming was once, you watch cable, you watch Home Shopping Network. Do you have Bravo? Is that on your package? Then it became like the only thing. Who has cable? And now, so the idea that would go away, in actuality, that's how it works. It's done that before. There was once a time where there was none, not that long ago. It's the constant change in business and stuff. But I think feeling the effects of it and feeling like you can't take a breath, you always have to be like ready, pay attention. Like that's hard. That's a hard way to live. For me.
Would it work if I was, let's say I was to make a maybe like a comic book story or whatever. And I just, instead of making it in like a magazine form, make it in like a DVD.
You could do it on the web though. You know, like web comics. There's been like that a couple of like a Netflix show about a web comic and an Amazon movie. It would be cheaper for you to produce. I mean, then you could also probably do it DVD too.
Okay, so you said web comics are cheaper to make than DVDs.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper to distribute. You know, because you don't gotta have like the physical copy. Like last night, when I took the picture of my boobs lying there reading and distributed it to you, and you guys were like, I see it right now. That's a lot faster than if I had to make a DVD and sell it to you. That's a lot faster to get it. Or tomorrow night when we're live on OnlyFans, right away. And then I post right after, so. Seeing full comics made both those already. So you're really wanting to do, like, just to work more on your art? Do your hands ever hurt, like, with all your lifting and work, affect, like, your artistry?
I would try to protect my right hand. That's the drawing hand.
Because I saw a documentary, I think it was on Disney Plus. It was about like something with the Disney Renaissance, and so you have like the later movies of like in the 90s, like the Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and stuff, and they did talk about earlier too. And those people, like those were all like hand drawn, all those.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Very does a number on you.
Thousands of broken tonsils, you say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I imagine you have to stiffen your hand to, you know, make sure you're precise. Can't just wherever. That I think that's something that AI could help with, is taking the idea that you want. But the thing that worries me with the AI is like very often the AI, like if you ask AI like, hey, draw me a picture of Stella, it's literally they just like take a picture of me. Here, I drew it. No, you did not draw that. Like that's me. Right. Oh, you see a little dot in the corner? We added that. So we drew it. Right? No, you didn't. Like you're just scanning because you're a computer. That's not your picture.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about how they're gonna use this new stuff. New stuff gonna overthrow the original way of doing things. Like hand drawn and stuff.
Let me tell you something. Let me find it. What was it called? Okay. There was an article on just like Zero Hedge, like one of those like blogger sites, crypto stuff. It was like Hollywood starlets face extinction as sexy AI influencers invade social media. Okay. And I haven't gotten banned from Twitter. I just don't bother to log in. And so ever since you had to log in to see anything, I have not logged in. So however long that's been, I haven't been on Twitter. So it would have been before, like, so that must have been some months now, right? I was aware of this dude that was trying to do these like AI influencer AI like women. And so here we go. Here's one person. So I think this is the same guy. Okay. Mila Sophia, AI model Mia. Good. I'll show you. Good morning, making memories by the crystal clear waters of Bora Bora. So this is a cartoon. This is not a real person. How real does this Bora Bora look? about as real as this person. I should get back here. Does that look like a real place? Okay. So they think that people will pay for what? A fake person to advertise their product? To sell them what? That their diet pills worked? Because look, I was edited down a few millimeters. And then like here's another one. It's the same person, but okay. Have you seen me on the news these past few days? The last few days have been pretty wild. Thank you all for your support and kind words. So this is like men being catfished by other men, but at least knowingly. Like this is some like old dude who is pretending to be a robot woman and be like, "Oh my god, thank you guys, it's been so wild." Like this is so weird. But you know, I don't care. Like to each your own. I'm pretty sure like one of the day I saw this. When was this? Was like I was posting me lying on the floor, or I was posing in that like that black lingerie with the fringe, and so you got me like lying there with my coffee, Big Brother in the background, like in the shot, and I'm like, I'm not anything like in competition with a drawing that's some dude pretending to be a woman. Like I'm just a real person. Like I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, here's another one. Wishing you a good night from Greece. Oh, so she's went to Bora Bora to Greece. So this definitely looks like Greece. What is it? It looks like the Andes Mountains or something. But it's the same expression.
Next level hustle.
And I remember them saying like the person's page when they were saying, because they wanted to charge, they were charging guys like for like however many photo package, like to pay them with PayPal or some site. But it was like he was saying we have to work on like getting some like the wrinkles, like some signs that they're real. But like, isn't your whole thing that you're not real? So is it just to save money? Because I don't know. I guess it would be if you could really fool someone into thinking that you are. Oh, that reminds me, there was a movie on Netflix. I wonder if it's still there. I forget what it's called, but maybe it was like Cam Girl, and this girl was like doing on some platform like sexy like live camming or something, and she was like competing with other people, like who's getting more views, like people are leaving your page. And so what happened was an AI, they like scanned her in this website. It's so weird because this is like years ago, but yeah, it's like it seems like so futuristic, and it looked just like her, and the AI is like pretending to be her. So I guess possibly they could, and then you could be like, wow, I didn't know this person I was following was literally an AI, an algorithm. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? You would be the clientele for this, I think. I don't know if they're targeting lesbians, women.
Young, fast, and out of control is the target. Then people more quick to say, but don't think before they say or do. I mean,
I have not seen Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, Blade Runner. They were androids.
Guys in full knowledge sub to AI girlfriends and get very angry if they stop the service. I wonder if that's a mental illness, though. I wonder if that's because that's veering into like imaginary friend territory. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally talking right now to Jerry. Like watch this. Jerry! Jerry heard me screaming like a lunatic just then. But
yeah,
that you.
It's a good feeling that you are. I like the. Maybe it's because it's real.
Yeah, I guess that's what confuses me, is because I always think being real is like an asset, being genuine. And so the idea that, like, because it's a car, although, it was always kind of known, like, airbrushing, because airbrushing, like, before all, like, photoshopping. So I still use the word airbrushing, but that was like taking, like, the actual print and, like, editing it, like, with an airbrush, like, so that you could be, like, flawless, like a cartoon. And then, and then maybe you would try to convince yourself, well, they probably look something like this. but that you're sure, like, oh no, this is like a cartoon.
I think it's younger demographic. So I don't know. This gotta be a younger demographic that they're going after. And
It's not all that different than any other parasocial relationship. Okay, well, think about the rise of, with, like, YouTube. Remember back in the day in YouTube, could do, like, video replies. They even used to have messages. They would oftentimes YouTube is considered a social network. I mean, there are more, I think, platforms are trying to be considered more like media platforms, but, like, because of the social aspect to it being part of, I think, the rise of it. And so it was people without not expensive equipment in the beginning. You make vlogs, you're sharing, like, things, literally, like, home videos and stuff. You're talking about, and where it's like, well, why would somebody watch that instead of television, instead of the news, instead of, all of these channels? Well, they did watch this. So the idea that, why would this be different? It's kind of a reversion, because if you wanted to watch cartoons, there's always been cartoons. I think it's harder to have something that is real, especially, like, the idea of it being an influencer. I think because they're there to influence you specifically to buy things.
yeah,
Yeah, Terry, get the hell out of here. You're argumentative. Go back to work and think about what you said. With AI, soon you'll be able to scan yourself to your favorite movies. So I can become my own AI. Like, if I don't want to get out of bed, can I have the AI me? Like, go to work or something? Yeah, I don't know. Like, haven't we been hearing forever how the future's going to be? And it's never really turned out like that. Like, I know I say this all the time, but, like, people are still making predictions.
yeah.
Every time someone says, like, oh, the world will end in this many years, I'm like, really? Really?
They remind me of those sci-fi movies that was everything was supposed to be like advanced in 2000 in 1997. They were so silly stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the thing is, everybody's different. It's not they should be, not just some cut and dry thing. Like, with myself, so many things, like, that I will post, I don't want to just share. Like, I wouldn't want to just share, like, on Instagram. I don't have Instagram, but you know what I mean? Like, even here, like, so much about, like, today, where I was, what I'm buying, what I'm cooking, my dogs, like, all of it. Like, I feel like if it was just for numbers, for influence, like, hey guys, Instagram hashtag primo pasture strawberry and cream milk, like, hashtag sponsored. I guess you would want everyone to say that, but because I think there is there is a lot of people that do that. It's just like, it's not everybody. It's not me. I want to do that.
I haven't shown a thing on social media. You know, I mean,
It's so weird.
I like showing myself on social media.
Sometimes it occurs to me that, like, all of you guys that I talk to all the time, every day, and it's like, I am so there, live, here I am. But then with you guys, like I was thinking, like, that you guys don't really, most of you don't really have your own aspirations of having streaming career or whatever, you know.
Well, I'm trying to build something, and before I even, considering showing myself on it.
Yeah. Well,
juggling, but
the thing is, I don't really know that much about, like, comic book, like, art and stuff. I just think how it would be done today, where you could do it, where you could distribute it, and it seems like it would be like an online would be the easiest way, and through like a program or something where you take your art and your ideas and find a way to organize that, and, like, you know what I mean, like, into like a pages, and, you know, like on Amazon where you can sell your own, like, ebooks kind of thing, but like for like a comic book format.
Yeah.
There's so many things, you know. I'm sure there's so many exciting things out there you could do, but and then once you have the product, I'm sure you could sell it a lot of places. I always wanted to have a picture book of me and sign them and go to, like, booths or places and have them. You could buy them. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that would be fun. All right. Well, I want to see if I have any other callers. Thank you for calling. I love you. Mwah.
Love you too.
Hello,
Hey, Chica.
Chica. Are you ready to sing the Bible Goes West song?
Somewhere out there. That's pretty much all I know.
Well, you sent that to me, like, at least twice, so I feel like it has a place in your heart. I thought you'd want to, like, put the music on, put on your. Well, it was sort of like Southern. It was very, like, right, very old Opry.
Well, Bible and his family are immigrants from Russia, and they're moving out west, sucker, because he wanted to be a cowboy, baby.
West is the United States.
Yeah, Western United States.
So you've seen that movie? You've seen that movie how many times?
Actually, I saw it in theaters back in what I call the day. I can literally tell you, I saw it at the Jamestown Mall with my dad, and
life-changing.
Surprisingly, I can remember.
That was your sexual awakening.
Well, Batman didn't come out. Batman Returns didn't come out until later that year. Yeah, but I remember my dad taking me to see that, and barely remember. I can see it clear as day. Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 poster on the wall.
Oh yeah, coming attractions used to be like a huge thing. I don't think it is so much now because you could see it online, teasers early and everything. But back in what we call the day, you probably wouldn't see them until the first time the theater.
Yeah, like if you go and watch
and then TV
commercials.
I remember the videotapes used to have trailers at the beginning.
I mean, some DVDs still do.
Really?
Yeah. So like literally, whatever like when '89 Batman, it was like, oh, coming soon '89 Batman. Oh, it's gonna be playing in front of whatever fucking movie it was. Like everybody rushed and bought tickets just to see the trailer for that. And they all left.
Do you used to go to the movies a lot with your dad?
I did.
That's so
like
sweet.
Like a little once a month thing we used to do.
Hmm. Well,
Like, yeah. I remember him taking me to see Bill and Ted Bogus Journey, Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Use. I saw that at the stadium in Jerseyville. May have also seen the original Ninja Turtle movie in the theater too. Because I was thinking the other day, what was the earliest movie I probably saw in theaters? I know I saw those in theaters.
I forget that you come from a rich family. That I bet you didn't even have to bring in your own popcorn to the movies.
Maybe we're not that rich.
Okay. I bet you didn't even have to bring in your own cans of soda, and pretend that you were 8 years old for your for your entire childhood to get it cheaper.
Dad and I always got popcorn and drinks, but
wow. No, he seems nice.
Yeah, remember we probably go movie like once a month, twice if there was like a special movie.
Yeah, I bet he even sprung for the jujubes.
Dad, we don't eat jujubes.
The icy, the cherry ices.
No, not that.
I wonder how much movie popcorn's going for nowadays.
Over $10.
They don't even use real butter, guys. What the hell? Those nachos are not worth it. Okay, let me ask you something. I just found another of the AI models, the fake women made up by a guy. Okay, what do you think of this? Was it? Can you see that? I don't know if I can. If it's too whited.
It's your nipples.
Okay, what do you think about that?
Okay, she's pretty.
She doesn't exist, so I guess what I'm saying is.
Well, there's my relationship with Brittany, but she's not AI.
I guess what I'm saying is like, okay, if you were a woman, if you were put yourself in me, in my body, you are now a woman. What would you think of this?
That depends on my sexual orientation, wouldn't you?
If you don't have an orientation towards cartoons, you're straight and like people.
I guess if I was a woman, it's like
that makes me think. Imagine if they made cartoons where they're like older gentlemen, and then it's me, an AI me with the older gentleman, like you with a bald head though. No, you with chest hair.
Oh, maybe I shaved my chest. I shaved like my top half of my body the other day.
He shaved up here. I guess what I'm saying is it's the equivalent of like if a woman drew a guy drawing and it had like a dick like Pinocchio, like you couldn't touch like a 6-foot radius. It would be like, what are you trying to say? Like, because I feel like if a woman actually wore this to, I don't know where this is supposed to be, like some Yelp picture they superimpose this cartoon on, they'd be like, you slut, but then they draw them that way, and it's like, what are you trying to say?
Well, I think the AI is more because the breasts are a little bit more big. Men like big breasts.
You know what's interesting though?
I would
The
also
number
imagine-
one plastic surgery is it's actually breast reduction.
Oh, that's fucking. That's they're a bunch of monsters.
It's not all women that get that surgery.
I probably need to do a breast reduction too.
Well, I mean, it's actually like happens. People can be shaped all different ways. I guess I'm saying I don't. Maybe there's an appeal, but I don't see it as being a replacement appeal. It's just a thing, but I don't see how it would replace real people because you could draw a cartoon like even like Wonder Woman. Like you have Wonder Woman in the comics, but then they still made a Wonder Woman movie, like in live action.
I mean, I guess you need as much spank material as you can.
Did you say spite material?
Spank material.
Oh, yeah, what was your spank material today? Nothing.
Well,
We're working all day.
It was on Twitter. It was a girl going down on her friend, sucking her clit and rubbing her in her thighs.
Now, did you tell yourself when you're watching this that either of them was enjoying this, or is that not important? That's not necessary.
Well, if I'm watching, if I know it's a studio-made presentation, I kind of know it's kind of it's kind of fake, but this was like an actual live scene, like real camera setup, production, and it seems like they had. I mean, you have to at least you have to enjoy it, and then not just kind of you're just going through the motion,
Well, would it change your enjoyment if you knew any of them were under the influence?
Right now, I can't. It's like you're laying. It's like fucking a dead body. Sure, it sounds really fun, except I would love to have her this moan so loud that the neighbors be like, they'd be calling police asking, there's something going on next door. Please send a welfare check next door. She's moaning like a crazy woman.
Did you find that it took you a long time to have your spanking to this video, or it was a short period of time because you're an expert spanker? You spank it quickly and done.
It was about the first time was about 7:00 in the morning, so it was kind of like
7:00 in the morning. You don't waste any time.
No, usually I wake up, check my phone, find the lube, and go to town.
Find the lube and go to town. I'm like, I gotta check Big Brother. There's a dog. Oh my god. 7 a.m. Man, I gotta be posting things sooner.
Well, there is sometimes I go to sleep. Don't show and I go to sleep. So
yes, well, I just think that as you've gotten older, you think that maybe you'd slow the spanking down, or make the spank last.
Well, I actually thought about that the other day. I actually cutting down the masturbation, but it's like I have nobody right now. I have literally I cried 3 or 4 times today. Because I watched the MTV Ghost all day, and it was 2 episodes. It's got me so fucking teary-eyed. I actually had to cry. but it's like, you know, I loved it. Would loved it if I stopped it completely, but you know, who's gonna spank this monkey?
I think that you over romanticize how it would be with like a partner, you know? Because then the minute you got close with that crazy polyamorous like cougar lady that wanted to like have sex and also like slap the shit out of you, you were a little bit shy. You were like, yeah, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that.
It's like John Force giving the keys to his funny car.
Exactly. But I don't know what that means at all.
Okay, drag racing. There's a division called funny cars. And John Force is like a 16-time world champion.
Mhm.
Okay, so at least I could.
They gave you the keys, but you did not want that funny car. You were like, you know, I'm not ready to drive this car right now. So what I'm saying is, it's like with me. You think, oh, if I had your body, Stella, and I was in a lady body, I could just go to the supermarket and go, hey, fellas, I've got a vagina right here. I've got several entrances, all of which are available. And you think that it would do that, and then the men would come running and be like, oh, yes, I want to ride that funny car. But really, I'm like, nobody come near me. If someone talks to me in public, it's like, you don't know how you would feel.
If we did a Freaky Friday body switch, I would be carrying a stun gun with me to the market.
I'm just saying, I think that you it's hard because you're a man. So I don't know what it's like to deal with, like, you know, your hormones that you know, because like women and men, the hormones like change throughout the day, throughout the month, or, you know. So I don't know exactly how that feels in the body, but I do feel still like the difference, you know, between just sexual and then also like more than that, you know, and where that mix is for a man. But I feel like for myself, yeah, I can get very aroused and everything, but I'm actually very shy, and I could see the complexities of having a relationship, how your heart is, and the hormones with that too, like, you know, with your mind and your worrying and everything. It's actually not something that you should be like crying like, oh well, I don't have a lady here to spank my monkeys for me. I think it'd be more of like, okay, so you know, you find somebody, and I guess you hope that so I'm watching the show Suits now. I don't know if you've seen the show Suits, but I'm in season 2.
I heard of it.
And I feel like the guy Mike, how he is with Meghan Markle's character, Rachel Zane. It seems like right away, like they like each other, you know. So maybe, I don't know, like if you expect or they expect, that's how like it would work. And I like to think like that's nice though, but I think however then you build that, eventually it's, hey, did you see the price of ham? Hey, are we gonna split a ham sandwich for lunch and like bring it? Or are we gonna go to the, like, eventually it's also like, you know, not just about spanking your monkey. It's like, hey, it's 7 a.m. This monkey ain't gonna spank itself. And they would be like, excuse me, Joe, did you think about maybe making me breakfast? We're out of oatmeal. And did did you get any on the way home? I don't think so.
Well, if I was if I had somebody in bed, I'd be walking around with a huge erection. All right.
You see, that's what I'm saying. You gotta stop saying that. It's sweet and nice and playful to say that, but and this is what makes women feel bad, because they'll be like, "Oh, my husband, he doesn't, you know, we've been together some years," and sometimes it's like, I always hear guys if they're attracted to you, they're just supposed to be always wanting that. But it's like, no, I don't think always. I mean, I'm sure that there's variations, but
Well,
when you think about wanting a relationship, the sex aside, are there still things about that you would want?
I would. It's kind of hard to say because it's like I just want somebody who would just kind of get my quirks, you know? Like literally, it's literally like.
They seemed like that lady from the fair that punched you. She seemed like a good fit, but she had a lot going on.
Yeah, you know, Anita has a boyfriend. She has a new job now, and she lives somewhere in St. Louis, bar in St. Louis. So, and that's almost been a year by now. It'll be in 10 days, a year.
Yeah.
And, you know, actually.
And you had some good phone conversations with her.
Yeah, I really need to actually make some touch base with her. I haven't done that in a while. But also, there's a big age difference too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like literally, I don't know. Sometimes I want. Do I want to jump in a relationship because everybody else is?
Keep this in mind. This is something I heard. It applies to men and women. Because a lot of people will say like, oh well, you know, women when they get older, like they become so picky about dating and have all these standards, and people can debate that. But what I've heard is that as people get older, especially the longer they've been single, they become more stuck in their ways, and that becomes harder. So the longer that you're alone, I think it makes it harder to integrate somebody else. You know what I mean? Because you would have to change probably too in some way, or at least like say if they have a cat, you know, now you're a cat owner or something. Like, you know, if they're a vegetarian, now, you know, all your meals are a little bit have a vegetarian part to them. You know,
actually, I can test for that. You know, my friend I showed you a picture of a couple of weeks ago. She's a vegetarian. Her boyfriend is a regular, you know, person, and it's really no problem with that, you know.
Yeah, but I think that you have all this worry built in your head because, it like the idea of that kind of that big of a change, you know. But I feel like you've always been open. But yeah, that's more. They say that, you know, when it's easier to justify like it's staying that same.
Well, it's also oh shit! I lost my train of thought. Because I got the episode of Ghost on pause right now, and I'm trying to think at the same time. But it's like
that is so rude.
But it's like it's really like, God, is this woman going or is this potential partner just gonna? I'm worried about is she going to use me, or is she just gonna one day just not be there? She's gonna ghost me.
Don't you want to be used?
Well, tied up, gagged, left for dead.
If you want to be used, look for women in the Philippines, because I hear that country is poor as hell. Like, you ever see 90 Day Fiancé?
Oh yeah,
they be living in shanty towns.
Well, you can probably go to also Mexico and
oh, how about the bad part of Illinois? No, you got to go dirt poor if you want to be used for your money. You're not rich. Where does it impress to say, hey, baby, I can pay for popcorn at the movies? Does it impress in your town?
Actually, in Illinois, it's quite the opposite. You got to go to the inside town and as Jim Jeffries says, you gotta have like personalities, smarts, and a fake job.
No.
So
A green card, food stamps. What do you need? There are some countries, a bucket of popcorn is all they eat in the year.
Plus, also, she has to be with you for 7 years. Because
that is horrible thinking. You're supposed to be the one getting used here.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying that's how legal process works. But yeah. So,
I'm just saying, like, you know, about it came to my mind about changing habits and being stuck in your ways. That would be someone you said get your quirks, but I guess you never know. It's like could be very different, but you know, it could work. There's been
also I'm afraid that one day, you know, that girl will come crawling back and be like, "Wow, what the hell? I'm stuck in the middle of a sticky situation."
Yeah, and then that day is the day you wouldn't want her anymore and be like, damn, what am I, who am I now without that? An existential crisis.
I'd be like, shit, husband dead, she wants me now. It's like,
her husband's dead? Are you going to hire a hitman? Oh my God. The plot thickens. This sounds like a novel.
Or I should say, the husband divorced her for a younger woman. Well, she is younger than him, but anyways, this it's like a little anxiety of, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Am I? I know I'm not that handsome, but it's like, shit. The pressure on men, like, you know, not being boring, not being, you know.
You're not boring. You overthink stuff. You know, they need to make summer camp or something for adults so you can see people are just stupid. Everybody's an imposter. Everybody is just like, you know what I mean? It's like, look at that stupid psychiatrist. She was a moron. But she was like, I'm a psychiatrist. You know? You could definitely be with her, but she's a bitch. Don't you talk to people in your job to see they're all idiots?
I mean, they're stoners.
I'm just saying. Stop thinking everybody's better than you. They're not.
Well, I like I say, I wake up in the morning. I go to the mirror. That depends if it cracks or not. Say, hello, good looking. What's you got cooking this morning?
Why don't you go look in that mirror and you slap that monkey good, and while you look at it, and you say you're a handsome man, and you keep slapping it.
Well, usually, that's also another thing. I want to put a mirror on top of my on the ceiling on my bed, but there's a fan.
No, that's too lazy. You stand there in front of it aggressively.
Yeah, but I can't stand and chug at the same time.
Okay, well.
I like the idea when the rig explodes almost on top of the laptop 9 times out of 10 it hits the alpha sign.
You know what? It's like you might as well make games of it. It's like I wanted to put a dildo in and try to shoot down like bowling pins and stuff. Make it fun. Well, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Okay, got my phone line open. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good. So what's going on? I missed the first couple of 4 or 5 minutes of tonight.
Mm.
You were talking about your grocery shopping experience, and
yeah. Well, I was saying that I kept feeling like my mom was communicating with me, and I saw those Korea books, and it's been an emotional day. But I did get groceries done, and it feels good. Like, it feels like I got a chore accomplished, you know? Like, so, I mean, you know, you went to the grocery store today. Like, you have the same feeling?
I did go, yeah, and, man, I got home and had, you know, you have to put everything away, and then I tried to cook, and I sat down, I was like, damn, I'm getting too old for this.
For cooking for yourself, you have to go to a home?
Well, no, I was just talking about, like, going out shopping. Shopping is a task.
Yes. Yeah. But then, you know, you see the price of, like, going out so expensive that it really is kind of like you pay yourself for it, like, in the saving. Like,
well, you're saving a lot of money cooking for yourself, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you hope to find deals. I mean, I don't know where you shop. I know sometimes you go to the market. Yeah. But I think sometimes they can overcharge, too.
Yeah, I shop at different stores. I go to Walmart. There's 2 Walmarts in this area, and then I go to a place called I go to an Acme sometimes, and then I go to a Safeway.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Food Line around here as well. So there's a lot of options.
Well, I know, like, I have to be prepared mentally. I was, you know, it's like, because what sucks is when you go, and if you're like, oh, I forgot the bread, and you're like, okay, I got sandwich meat, but like mayonnaise, but there's no bread. I'm gonna have to go again. Yeah. So I really have the anxiety of, like, do I have everything? And sometimes I'll put it on the belt, and I'll walk off and, like, add, because I'll have so much stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this, but I'd rather over by a little bit, not too much, than under. But you know, because not having something that you need, you'll end up having to, like, go back, and I think overall you save than having to, like, order takeout. But hey, Bob's Day. I would love to tell Stella why today, tonight's a great night. I've been at my job for 20 years already on this day, guys. Yay! Oh my God, that's so exciting. You know, to stick with some. Oh, that was Bob.
Oh, okay. He's been at his job for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And
that's great.
With the store moving and everything.
That's a great achievement. Yeah.
Then old-fashioned paper, and with written grocery list. Yeah, I even had paper coupons today that they mailed, because I
was going to ask you that. Yeah.
A $20 off $200. I'm like, I'm always over $200. Yeah, I'm always so that was a good one. Like, I didn't want to forget that. I actually got in the car, put my buckle on. I'm like, oh wait, I forgot the coupon. I'm like, no, I'm getting out and getting that. So I had paper, and then it had like 60 cents off of, like, hamburger buns if you buy 2.
I was never in the coupons, but I need to try to, like, get into using them, because I've seen people save a lot of money.
Well, they sent them to me in the mail. So.
Oh, they sent them to you.
But, you know, not losing them, holding on to them, yeah. Better to get something off. Oh, that's so great.
Groceries are so expensive. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's hard to think how much they change. And a lot of people will say, yeah, so what? I got a raise. But it's like, no, I didn't. I make less now. But I feel like not everybody did, you know, especially if you have, like, a fixed income.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I want people to have less. Like, good for you. If you make more, that's wonderful. But I do worry for some people, like, when they already have basic things, like, and it's just anxiety just to, like, how they can eat. I think a lot of people, they're going hungry. I know people make jokes like, oh, the Americans can use to lose a few pounds, but, like, realistically, like your nutrition, not getting enough food, that's no bueno. That is not good.
Well, I mean, especially for like older people, you get old and you have ailments, and then you have medical bills piling up, and then you have medication that's terribly expensive. So then you get to the point where, okay, am I going to buy groceries or am I going to get my medication?
Young people are like that too, though. A lot of young people, they don't have insurance. They don't qualify in the job yet.
It's really scary. It's scary out here, man.
Yeah, because and the other thing's like, okay, so you lost like a few pounds because you have a deficit, this week or whatever. But you don't want to like keep in doing that. Like you have like, okay, I didn't get enough calories or nutrition or this or that this week. Yeah, but how many weeks can you do that to yourself? Because everything will suffer.
Yeah.
I guess it makes me sad that in America we would be at this point of people like they're literally going hungry.
It's amazing. They say this supposedly is the richest country in the world, and then you have.
I don't think we're going to be for long, though. I don't think. I think. Well, even if we are, I think it'll be more because we'll go lower and they'll go higher. Like maybe it'll be more even.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that familiar with like world affairs, but I do feel like in America, like if you think, okay, the world is more globally connected, so you can work from anywhere. So we'll have like IT jobs,
Right,
and also like from other countries helping support here, and also I think people in America are already like accepting, in a good way, in many instances, kind of like less and less. Like, well, I won't go out anymore. I'll make this myself. And I'll do this myself. Instead of this big enterprise of everything, it's like a lot more simple. And then I think, yeah, just not having the money like it was, because like if other countries suffer too, then where are you going to get it from? And
right.
and also the labor, I think like people need to be cared for, and their jobs aren't to be like replaced necessarily, because it's like if you look at lower paid jobs and then you look at the cost of living, some jobs almost need to be replaced by computers or whatever, just because it's not right. It's not right to pay people so little, even if that's all you can afford.
Yeah, you don't make enough to survive.
Yeah.
To make ends meet. Yeah. And then the currency, American dollar, God knows, I don't honestly know how much the American dollar is worth these days. Because years ago they said that the value of an American dollar was like 50 cents. And that was some years ago. So what's the true value of an American dollar now?
Well, I think the thing is, though, right now, that if you look at the data on the properties, like the number of people, the number of properties in this country, that there actually is enough, but it shows that they're tied up in short-term rentals, Airbnb type stuff, and sort of investment properties. And so I feel like that may well end up getting sorted one way or another. And then when the housing is more affordable, maybe everything will be. I don't know.
Well, I know a lot of people are going to tiny homes. It's getting very popular. Tiny homes. It's a big up and growing thing now.
Yeah, but if people aren't staying enough in your Airbnbs or whatever, then you need to pay for it somehow. And if you can, that's great. But if they can't, then what are you gonna do? It's like with my mom's house that was in foreclosure. You can't hold on to it.
And you didn't even know about that, right?
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just saying, like, I understand, but I think that I can see some ways where it can get easier, but I can see some ways also where there does feel a decline. Where, like when I heard about the UPS people and how hard they're working, and I thought, geez, this like.
And you know, also the Amazon people work like dogs too.
Yeah, they're people, not dogs, and even dogs shouldn't. I don't believe in dog racing.
Mm-hmm. They said, I don't know if it's all of Amazon, but they said some locations the management treat people terrible.
I mean, I think people like, how do I say this? Because I remember Daryl, this lady hit Daryl like from behind, and he was okay. Like he was in the bigger vehicle, and he wasn't at fault or anything. But I remember, I remember being worried for him that like, oftentimes the other person gets mad at you for like existing, for interfering with their life, that for like being bothered by like as though, but if you put that situation where it's a boss in any field, and they look at people that way, then it's going to be hard.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they make room to have. I don't know. A lot of people think that kindness is like weakness, and so if you offer to be like a very comforting in a job, then you're like weakening your company, and so you got to just be like hard. And then on the other hand, it's like, yeah. So people did have different ideas, I guess, but I do feel that in so many places it really is what I would consider like abusive behavior. Because I think the system is abusive.
Yeah, a lot of people do look at kindness as a weakness, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it could be that what I'm saying, like the same boss at Amazon that acts that way, they could work anywhere else and act that way too. Because
yeah,
like when I worked in the Jack in the Box, this person would like yell at us, and I remember saying that when I got the sexual harassment claim, and they were like, "Why didn't you say anything right when it happened?" And I was like, "Because Maritza, she likes him, and she's mean. She yells at us. Like, I don't know if you know what it's like to be yelled at."
Oh, I do, definitely.
It's very aggressive. It's very threatening.
It's
very demeaning.
It's not a good feeling. That's for sure.
Yeah. So when you say like, well, this boss is yelling at me, why don't I feel comfortable to say this to her? There's not a trust there. So, and she understood that, the lady, when I was doing the settlement, so I feel like when you that was at a Jack in the Box, but that could be anywhere.
Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at this documentary. I think I had messaged you about that documentary on Netflix. I think Poison.
Oh yeah, you watched that Poison? I didn't want to watch that. I was too afraid.
Yeah, that documentary was really interesting. And guess what one of the companies were that people were eating their food and dying.
Was it Amazon?
No, it was Jack in the Box.
Oh, it was?
Jack in the Box, was one of the companies, fast food companies, that was undercooking the hamburgers.
Oh.
And it killed, it was mainly kids that something from undercooking their burgers, there was something in, I forget what it was in the meat that affected children far worse than adults. And I think it actually killed like one young girl, teenage girl. She almost died. She was sick for a long time, went to a coma and all that. But I think she finally woke up. But this other little baby boy died, killed him.
Was that just American food, or was it other countries?
No, Jack in the Box in America, yeah.
Because
all America, yeah.
I wonder how it is in other countries too, and also, because I wonder how other countries treat like their animals. Because I think that they can be, I don't know, like how they treat. Like remember when I was reading the book in depression, they were doing a sacrificing like a goat, and I was like, please don't kill that goat, please don't kill it, and he stabbed the goat, and I was like, I don't think they would allow that in America, like to torture the animals, and if they do it in the factory farming, I don't like to see it, and people don't like to believe that happens, but I wonder if in other countries it's more acceptable or less acceptable, or it varies.
Well, I know in Southeast Asia, there's they eat. What do they call those markets that they have? That they over there, they're eating animals that.
Have you been there?
The rest of the world don't eat.
Well, I've heard dogs. They let the dogs out like on the streets. There's dogs. If you visit some of these poor countries, they're starving. They're not even like pets. Mm-hmm. They're just around, like skin and bones.
Yeah. I know. I heard in the Philippines you have to be very careful, like the vending street food.
Mm-hmm.
They said if you go there, it's real even the water. They say you have to drink bottled water,
mm-hmm.
and the street food, the vendors. You should definitely not eat that food because it could kill you. Parasites and what have you that's in the food that.
Yeah, still water can get a lot of bacteria.
Oh man, it's bacteria freaking heaven, yeah.
Yeah, so people that go there like fish or, like, kids probably go in that because they don't know yet. But that's a place because they breed with the water, like in water, to flourish.
Even like the real poor slums of India, they say that the water is really filthy. People bathe in the water and you see floating. Literally, they say depending on where it's at, you can see floating feces in the water, and then there's a billion
people in India, so
yeah. So that's could you imagine?
Well, America doesn't even have to provide for 1 billion people, and we have our own issues. So
yeah, definitely, and because that documentary also they talking about a lot of other different like vegetables and certain fruits and vegetables that.
So basically, it means you never want to eat anything ever again.
Well, they talk about like how you should not eat prepackaged vegetables. How you should buy your vegetables fresh and wash them off really good, and things like that.
Yeah, but if you do that, like, you have to go to the store more often, and you can't always do that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have a disability, I don't know if you're watching Big Brother, but
yeah. Well, see, I have the problem with I don't have the Paramount Plus,
mm-hmm.
So I watch it, but I watch it on CBS.
Mm-hmm. So you're not watching the live feeds?
Well, it's live, but it comes on here. It comes on one day of the week. It comes on 9,
mm-hmm.
and then the other 2 days of the week it comes on at 8.
Yeah,
which is 3 hours later than because you're 3 hours earlier than here. So.
Yeah, well, maybe like look up online to get more of an idea of this, because there's more you can gather about what's going on. But there's a guy on the show, Matt, and apparently people are really upset. He's deaf, but he's got like a hearing aid, and in one ear he's almost like completely deaf. In the other ear he has 20%. That's his good ear, but with the hearing aid it can be like 50%. but you can just see him like he loses his competitions. He can't hear what the rules are. I guess in one competition he just like sat down, and people are saying this is like what it's like for people with disabilities in America. Like this is how you get treated, like, and he shut out of conversations. It's like they don't want to deal with this disability or work around it, and so everyone just feels bad for him. Like, I mean, the viewers at home are like, what the hell, CBS? Like, do you not care? Like, he's deaf, so. But imagine then, this is why people like to not show weakness of things, because they don't want to be the problem. They don't want to be made to feel like people are so what's the word? So thrown, so put upon to help them at all. Which is just.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
So many people are more disabled, I bet you, than you realize. Because I myself am disabled with like my disabilities, but I know like what's happened to me. I can't be the only one like this. There has to be a lot of people walking around a lot worse, or maybe they're not walking around as much.
Definitely.
Yeah, or they don't want to let on that they have these health problems because
Yeah, we all have health problems, and the older you get, the more health problems you will develop, unfortunately. And like I was saying before in past conversations, this is what they call a throwaway society. And you get old and sick, they could care less about you. You can crawl under a freaking rock and freaking die. They don't care.
Yeah, but if you watch Matt, it's like you can see like today they had this thing where the Jared came back from the nether region. Well, he didn't come back, but he was like on the screen. And poor Matt, he can't hear because other people there, they couldn't hear. Hardly. So he definitely couldn't hear. And if people watching are just like, look at him, and you see it in his face, and you're like, will somebody help Matt? This is wrong.
But and he's taught himself, he speaks very well.
But that's what it's like for people with disability. Like, if you guys see deaf people out there, I mean, that must be so hard.
It is difficult, yeah. So they're basically, they're just treating the guy bad.
Well, they're not making accommodations for him. They're really not. And because of the way the game works, it's like, it's not in his favor to make it look like keeping him around is going to be a problem. So but the game is you're supposed to be bonding with people, and so you got to like be listening to them, and you got to have a chance to be around them, because you can't like pick up things. So he's at a big disadvantage because of that. But especially with CBS, if he can't win competitions, if he's not understanding like rules and stuff, it's not being explained or written or typed to him to understand, it's very frustrating because these are simple accommodations. Because there must have been deaf people in television before, or people that have competed in things, that there must be some way to make it easier, and that they're not doing that. It feels wrong.
Well, that's up to the network, correct?
Yeah, but it does show as an example what it must be like for disabled people, like seeing at play, because that's like supposed to be like a small example of like the real world and how it would work, and that's how it would work. You really are being like outcasted and feeling awkward, not included in conversations. Everything's harder for you. People like, and yeah, I think it just, my heart goes out to the people that suffer with anything, because I feel the world is so like, don't show weakness. Don't, gotta be competitive. Like even Joe was saying how, something like to offer and be like interesting, and just so. When can you relax?
Mm-hmm. So you pretty much, odds are against him. At some point, he will be sent home.
Oh, well, you never know. You never know. But there's been, I mean, well, the reality is that it's definitely in your favor, like the odds of things to win competitions. I mean, sometimes you can throw them. You know, sometimes you don't want to look like you win too much, but you don't want to look like you don't win at all either. But also, you know, winning HOH, it protects you. Winning the power of veto. Winning, they'll have giveaways where you can win like money and stuff or power. So it's like, if he doesn't have an equal footing to win a competition, that is really a disadvantage. Also, obviously with hearing the the conversations, but you never know. But like historically, the people that have won have been like competitors. They've won a lot of competitions. So if you look at the data set on that, he would need to match up with people that have won historically. He would need to win some, and I don't see that happening if he can't hear what the rules are.
Yeah, that's true. Did that the lady and the son? Did the son get sent home?
What is your favorite movie? Gone with the Wind? No, he didn't get sent home. No, I saw him this morning. But you know what? They were cutting out what he was saying, but he didn't. He's in another region and he hasn't eaten all day or all night. Or no, I don't know if they're feeding him, but they won't let him sleep. He hasn't got to sleep all night. That is like torture, but they won't let him sleep. He's like wait this way, yeah. I haven't been able to have a bed.
Can they do that?
Well, I guess they are. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he's still in the game, and Suri was so happy when she saw him. He was looking for her in the. He's like, I don't see who's behind you. He's like, oh. When she saw him.
Come on. Did it come on tonight? This evening?
Well, I was watching it on the live feeds, so it's not on Fridays. But
it's not on Fridays.
But if you got Paramount Plus, you can watch it throughout the day and stuff.
Yeah, I have some. I tell you what, Paramount Plus, I should subscribe to it, but it's just, I don't really watch Paramount Plus other than watching Big Brother. I guess I could subscribe until the season is open and drop it.
I want to see if Bob wants to call.
Okay.
I'm like, it's been over 2 hours, but yes, let me know if you get it because. Also Pluto TV. If you can get that, that's how Terry was able to get it. The live
Pluto is that a subscription?
I think it's free actually. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah,
well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, check that out. Let me know.
I heard you talking about Disney. I still have Disney.
I know. I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Which one is it?
The Volume 3. I know that's on Disney, but I haven't gotten to pull it up yet. Okay. Anyway, I love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off.
Good night. All right. I got time for one more call. So, Bob, if you would like to call, the line is open for you. I can't tell if he's calling. I don't see on the phone yet. Let me see if I have it going into missed. No. I don't see any missed. No. I can't find the video I was looking for before. Anyway, it probably creeped you out too much anyway. The one with the guy with his sister. What is your favorite color? Yellow. Oh, you don't have the number, Bob? I thought you had it. It's the same one as before. I didn't know that. Is this you, Bob? Is this you? Let me see. I don't see you. Is this you? I don't know who that is, but I wanted to make sure that Bob could get in, so. I'm tired. Did my lip color so nice tonight? Or so nice. I was just reading that. So light tonight. I feel like you can't see my mouth. Anyway, I'm tired. Will someone put the number in the chat for Bob? Or let me see. I don't remember my own number, so that's. You look very pretty in the video before. Yeah. Are you sure you don't have it? It begins with a 4. From what I remember. I can't remember. All right. Well, it's late. Bob, you should have let me know that earlier. I wanted you to call earlier. You don't have it. All right. Arthur would have been giving it out. All right. Well, we'll have you call earlier next time, or maybe on Sunday or something. You can call if you're there. But I should be getting some rest. It's really hitting me. It's been a very long day for me with the crying over my mother, the grocery shopping, unloading everything. I had to go to the post office. I sold more of that perfume. So I did need some sleep, but I love you. I see you tomorrow. Good night.